I know in the past we have talked about the butchering that's been done to the Avatar: Last Airbender franchise.
Oh no!
And about about a month ago, there were some leaks and rumors about what the next Avatar installment was going to be. And they are true. They were absolutely true because the other day they have announced the next animated project, not the anniversary stuff with the original crew, but the next timeline installment, Avatar 7 Havens. Set in a world shattered by a devastating cataclysm, a young earthbender discovers she's a new avatar after Korra. But in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior. Hunted by both human and spirit enemies, she and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origins and save 7 havens where civilizations led strongholds collapse. Now, here's what we learned in the rumors. Now it's true. So at some point after the end of Korra broke the world and reshaped it into 7 districts. And now everybody hates the Avatar. And then, so the world as you knew it, the different nations or the mega city that was in Korra, all that crap, doesn't exist anymore. And this is now, and these two are twin avatars. And one is trained to be a bitch, and the other one's trained to be a good little women's.
Sounds like the Acolyte.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got no connection to the original series because, the entire world was reshaped and Korra wiped out the Avatar line. So Korra is going to be the only Avatar that these two can commune with in the Avatar state. Can you imagine getting advice from Korra rather than Roku? It's kind of a downgrade. And no Aang, too. Wiped out the spirit of Aang. Yep. And what people aren't talking about this that bothers me a lot, it's the reason why I couldn't get into Korra. Yep. I loved the original show growing up, but Korra, as soon as it was the first episode when you started seeing cars and like 1910, 1920s technology, that's when I was out. I wanted a little bit more of, not quite medieval fantasy, but it felt more old-fashioned and trying to be a little bit more authentic or ancient feeling, like it could have existed a long time ago. But with how the timeline works now, with that being in the 1910, 1920s, this will probably be in the 1980s equivalent technology wise. Are we wanting that, or the Cataclysm reset things?
Unless Korra breaking and reshaping the world set them all back to Stone Age. I don't know. All I know is that this franchise is fucked.
It's the Wonder Twins.
It's Wonder Twin powers activate. Power of game.
I don't think anybody hates The Legend of Korra more than I do.
I know you do. I know you hate it.
When that show aired, I was ready to burn Nickelodeon to the ground. Now, look, I wasn't a big Nickelodeon watcher, period. What got me watching Nickelodeon was the Avatar. Avatar: Last Airbender. In my personal opinion, one of the greatest American animated shows of all time.
Still holds up.
To this day. I even had the DVD set, and I showed my wife the entire series. We watched the entire series together. And she was like, wow, that was a really good show. I said, you're darn right it was. The Legend of Korra took a diarrhea in my mouth and then told me to chew it, swallow it, vomit it, and then eat it again. I hate that show, second only to She-Hulk. That is the worst show I have ever watched in my life. The Legend of Korra is the worst show. Mark my words. The second worst show of all time, second only to She-Hulk. That show. This is before we knew what woke was.
Yeah.
This is before those words even existed. But when you saw this show, it felt off. And when we sat there and watched that joint, and when she was born, she already had 3 bending abilities. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, how did that happen?
Oh, as the baby? Yeah, they have that shot of her as a baby doing like 3 of them.
As a baby, she was already a master of
bestest
3
ever
of the elements. My brain said, wait a minute, that's not how that works. Then the only thing she had to master was wind. That's it. And then the entire adventure is a freaking throuple with toying between 2 boys, and then she ends up being a lesbian. I was so freaking angry. First of all, I was angry that Aang was dead. Let's get that out.
Yeah.
Let's
and
get
they
that part out.
Butchered every single original cast member in that show too.
All of
them. Butchered them.
All of them.
They made Toph a bad mom, a degenerate bad mom.
Yo, what a like Toph. I love Toph. Toph is one of my favorite characters. They butchered her. They butchered her. They butchered Zuko. I still
They
I still
depowered
don't-
him. He's a
I
wuss.
still don't know what happened to Aang. I don't know what happened. What killed him? Does anybody know?
Too much love
Anyone?
from Katara. I don't know. Too much love.
I hate that show so much because we went from seeing a young Aang gain pretty much all these great abilities and found a new way out, a monk way to accomplish something great and still be able to defeat an enemy without taking a life. You find a way to undo that. You take a dump on me, make me bathe in it, and try to make me celebrate it. I hate that. The destruction of the Avatar spirit. Like, oh, she's the only one. I was so furious
But
because
Dre,
I love the show.
she got to walk off into the sunset with a woman and be gay.
I hate everything. I hate that show so much. I literally started changing colors. I went from black to brown to blue to purple to as pale as Jed. I'm telling you, I hate that show. Second only to She-Hulk. I hate that show so much. And people were at my throat. Like, oh, she's a woman. That's why you're mad. No, I'm mad because this is trash. You took one of the greatest shows ever put onto the animated page, did unspeakable things to it in front of me, and then said, enjoy it. I can't. I can't. You can, why couldn't we just get just like Avatar 5 years later when they're
That's what they're doing for the anniversary, but doesn't matter because Korra still exists.
Exactly. Now it doesn't matter because we know Aang dies early. At some point in his life, he dies young. So now that just God, Jesus. I hate that show. That show literally derailed the entire franchise.
Yeah.
Everybody should have lost their jobs. Everybody should have lost their homes. I'm done with them. I cannot be a part of it. But I am gonna go and rewatch the DVD set. I'm gonna go rewatch the Avatar Last Airbender. I'm gonna enjoy it and then pretend that other crap didn't happen.
It's
but
very
the
easy
fact
to
that
pretend.
Korra exists is an insult to me and everything that I stand for. Burn it to the ground, destroy Nickelodeon, get rid of all of them. I'm done.
I'm so glad that I dipped out of Korra after like the second or third episode after hearing that wonderful speech, Dre. I was out so quickly from that show. I'm actually not interested in anything from Avatar besides the original show. The original show is fantastic. The live action, I don't care if it's good or
was
not.
No, it was an abomination. I had to tap
oh
out.
my
I tapped out
god!
halfway
Oh my!
through. And they still
I'm
have a
getting
second and third
flashbacks.
season coming. It's still happening.
Oh my god! I'm getting a flashback. Do you okay?
Or the movie too.
Ooh, at the end of Book of Water, when Aang finally goes into Avatar states and takes the life of the captain, to save the Water Tribe, which was a major plot point because of his beliefs and his monk-like stance. He has to cross the line in order to save lives. They went and undid it in The Legend of Korra. They said that she crosses into the plane and she finds the captain there trapped in the world between worlds, the Avatar world state, and he's been wandering around there for 40, 50, 60 years. Yes, they undid one of the greatest moments of Aang's progression. They undid it and said, "Oh no, he's still a coward. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. He trapped him in another dimension." I almost broke my television when I saw that because that's a pivotal moment in character growth, and you undo it. I was so freaking furious. I almost punched my television, and I've only punched 2 TVs in my life. None of them belong to me, so I almost punched my own television. I am saying, like, Jed, when I say this is the worst show ever written, second only to She-Hulk, the worst show of all time, I am not exaggerating. It takes the beauty of Avatar: The Last Airbender, bends it over, sticks a big old broomstick right up in that joint, breaks it off, and then tells it to walk straight.
I am so glad I decided to bring this up.
Yeah.
God.
Well, listen, like you guys said, this franchise is done. Even though I believe the original creators are coming back for this thing, it doesn't matter. The core audience is gone. All that's left are the stands that we're going to talk about further in today's stream. So there we go. Once again, and this is why I brought up the fact that just because we're winning and things are improving, they're still butchering what you love, and it doesn't change the fact that they butcher things you love, and then they'll double, triple down on it and remind you how much they butchered it and debased it in horrible, disgusting ways. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.